All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Wahara Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. And peace and salutations to the hopeful elect out here toiling in this truth. I'm Pathakamoth GMS Dallas, and I'm just coming back at you with a really quick hit lesson. I think I'm going to entitle this lesson, The Devil and Satan in the Scriptures Are Not Talking About the Spiritual Demon. Because us in the know, we know that these terms are basically talking about his counterpart in the earth, which we know is E today, man, the so-called self-proclaimed white man, who are the biblical Edomites, who go back to their forefather Esau. When the scriptures, most of the times in the scriptures, when it's speaking of Satan, it's not talking about the spiritual demon. It's referring to Esau, the so-called white man, and the term devil is referring to the so-called white man. But because when you go into these words, the term devil just means deceiver, man, which is what this guy has done. That's who he is. That's what he's about, man. He's deceived the whole planet Earth, man. You know what I'm saying? Lies and deceptions. The scriptures go into that. Isaiah 60, the earth, 60 and 2, this earth in darkness and these people in gross darkness. What's that darkness? The lies and deceptions that this dude has cast forth throughout the whole earth, that covering cast spoken of, and I believe it's in Isaiah the 25th chapter in verse 7, which is going to be unveiled, man. Is being removed by way of this truth, man. And the primary way that he did that was Christianity, man. You know what I'm saying? And he spread lies and deception throughout the four corners of the earth, because he's a deceiver, which is what devil means, man, when you understand the words. And Satan just means adversary, man. This dude is adverse to the Lord. He's adverse to the Lord's people, man. And the Lord's people consist of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians of Negroid descent. You make up the 12 no longer lost tribes of the nation of Israel, man, because we know who we are now. We know who he is, which he's the devil, man. He's your enemy. The Bible tells you all these things, man. You know what I'm saying? So the devil means deceiver, and adversary. Satan means adversary, man. You know what I'm saying? So, and I just want to go into a few things just really quick, just proving that point, man. When the scriptures say devil and Satan, it's talking about the so-called white man, man. And it's just very clear when you understand the scriptures and you get into the scriptures. So right off the top, I want to go to Revelation, the 12th chapter real quick, in verse 9. And it reads, "And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world, who was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him." Because these devils, once our big brother Yahushua returns soon, in these final last seconds of rulership that these demons, that these devils have, man, before he returns. Because once he returns, he's going to take them down, and they're going to get casted out of rulership and put in slavery for 1,000 years, man. And that's what's coming to him. But it says, "And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent." Of course, that great dragon represents the Roman Empire, and this is by way of reincarnation. This is the revised Roman Empire, man. You know what I'm saying? Same people back doing the same things. Ecclesiastes, the 1st chapter in verse 9, man. Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter in verse 15, goes into these things. We come back, So that great dragon represents the Roman Empire, and which today is America, the revised Roman Empire 2.0, man. You know what I'm saying? Was cast out, that old serpent. So it's proven that it goes all the way back to the garden. Same people, the serpent, called the devil, the deceiver, and Satan, the adversary, which deceiveth the whole world, because that's what he does, man. As a matter of fact, when you go into this word, let's go into the word real quick. Let's get this word deceiveth real quick. And these things are going to prove exactly who this is talking about. And I'll let this devil say this.
Strong's G 4105, planao.
Planao. And it says to cause to stray, to lead astray, lead aside from the right way, boom, to go astray, wander, roam about. Metaphor, to lead away from the truth, to lead into error, to deceive, to be led into error, to be led aside from the path of virtue, to go astray, sin, to sever or fall away from the truth, of heretics, to be led away into error and sin. And that's what Esau has established in the earth in these times. And that's what Jake is doing, man. They're following after this dude. As a matter of fact, let's jump down. Let me see what it says down here in the Strong's definition. It says, to properly cause to roam from safety or truth, there it is, or virtue, go astray, deceive, err, seduce, and he's done that by way of his witchcraft, that's sorcery, his pseudoscience and all these different things that he's established in the earth. Wander, be out of the way. You know what I'm saying? So let's I want to go into, let's go to this next word real quick. See what it says. Basically the same things. Objectively, fraudulence. Subjectively, a straying from orthodoxy or piety, deceit, to deceive, delusion, error. All of these things have been put forth by these devils, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it going. Uncertain affinity, which is the root word. It says wandering, roving, misleading, leading into error, a vagabond. Boom. So he that deceiveth, the deceiver is a vagabond, which we know that right there proves who this is talking about. A tramp, imposter, corrupter, which is what he is, man. He corrupts the nation of Israel, a deceiver. So that vagabond, which is a key word, which real quick, because when you go into let's prove that vagabond real quick, which goes all the way back to Cain, man. Genesis, the 4th chapter, and verse 12. Genesis 4:12. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. So we know this is dealing with Cain, which is that wicked line in the earth, that wicked seed in the earth, that seed line, which Esau goes back to. You know what I'm saying? It says, verse 14, behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth, and it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. You know what I'm saying? But of course, we know the Lord has had protection, a hedge around this devil, because the Lord is going to deal with this dude in his time, man. You know what I'm saying? And his days are numbered, And it goes into that in Job, the 14th chapter, verse 5, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. He has an appointed time, set appointed bounds that he's not going to pass, man. So the Lord has been protecting this dude and allowing him to just basically roam throughout the earth and just do, all manner of whatever he's going to do, man. On the left-hand side, man, to allow this devil to build this dude up. So when he brings him down, the whole earth is going to know the power of the Lord, man. You know what I'm saying? But this proves that vagabond is Esau, man, because it's talking about Cain, man. And in the reincarnation, if you have the understanding, Cain reincarnated into Esau, man. You know what I'm saying? He had a mark put on him when after he killed his brother Abel. He had that mark put on him, which is the mark of leprosy, man. No pigment in his skin, man. And when you read in Genesis, you jump over to the 25th chapter, Esau was born and he came out red all over like a hairy garment, man. And that's that pigment being gone, because during that time, everybody had pigment. They were melanated, man. That's why it didn't describe Jacob in that chapter, man. It only described Esau because he came out different, which is that same mark being on him that Cain had put on him when he killed Abel, man. You know what I'm saying? And that vagabond, that proves he's that vagabond, man. Proving Esau goes back to that vagabond, So let's go back to Revelations 12. It's Revelations 12 and 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, because Satan, again, represents and means adversary. And let me see real quick. Let me jump over to 1 Peter real quick. 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. It says, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, which we already know who the devil is Esau, man, as a roaring lion walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. So we're going to go in this word adversary real quick. Let him say it.
Strong's G 476. Antidikos.
Antidikos. So it's opponent, an opponent in a suit of law, an adversary, an enemy, which, you know, the scriptures tell you this dude is our enemy in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, in verse 68, man. You know, so let's jump down to the definition. It says an opponent in lawsuits, especially Satan as the arch enemy, adversary. Let's go and see if there's any. See what else it says. Anything I need in here? I don't think so. Primary. So no. So yeah, but that proves Satan means adversary, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, that adversary means Satan. Matter of fact, let me go back into it real quick, because it said it in the definition. Down here in the Strong's definition, it said it. An opponent in a lawsuit, especially Satan, you know, as the arch enemy, adversary. So Satan means adversary, man. And who are the adverse people of the Lord, man? It's not talking about the spiritual demon, because there's when you go into is it 2 Thessalonians 2 and 9, the 2 Thessalonians 2 and 9, it reads, even him whose coming is after the workings of Satan. Him whose coming is after the workings of Satan. So there's somebody in the earth that's after the workings of Satan, man, which we now know are the Edomites, man. The so-called self-proclaimed white man, woman, and child, with all power and signs and lying wonders. So that's the Satan that it's talking about. It's not talking about the spiritual demon for the most part. You know, there's times that it is talking about the spiritual demon, but for the most part, it's talking about Esau, man. He's Satan, which is that adversary, and he's the devil, which is that deceiver, man. You know what I'm saying? And let me get another one on that devil real quick. This is 2 John 1 and 7. For many deceivers are entered into the world, who confess not Yahweh Shai HaMashiach is come in the flesh. This is a deceiver and an antichrist. And of course, we know, as the scriptures say, are many, you know. This whole system, society, and setup is anti-Messiah, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's talking about all these people who don't get down with his truth, man. You're a deceiver. You're a devil. You're Satan, man. It's talking about you, man. You know, the Christian church, those in Islam, you know, all these different religions, you know. If you believe in this place, you believe in the ways of Esau, then you're an anti-Messiah, man. You're antichrist, man. You know, all of those taking that medicine, man. You know, they don't believe, don't have any faith. Those are they believe in this system, man. Those are antichrists. Those are anti-messiahs, man. You know, and same word going into this word, same word, wandering, rovering, misleading. You know, that vagabond. So it's the same thing, man. You know, so. You know, that deceiver, you know, Esau, man. You know what I'm saying? And real quick, let's see. When you go into John, the 8th chapter, just linking him up, because it goes, like I said, that goes back to Cain in the garden. John 8 and 44 links that. This is John 8 and 44, and it reads, ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. You know, and this is red letters, Yahweh Shai speaking to those wicked Jews, man, you know, that was trying to be like those Romans, man, who were Edomites. You know, ye are of your father the devil. So he's calling them the devil right here, man. Those Romans, man. who are Edomites, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, proving that's talking about Cain, man. Linking them, proving that Esau and Cain is the same spirit, man. It's the same people, man. Back on the earth. And abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. And the scriptures tell you, when you read in Psalms the 58th chapter in verse 3, they're estranged from the womb. They go astray, speaking lies as soon as they be born, man. You know what I'm saying? So they're straight up liars, man. And these things link all of these things together, man. You know what I'm saying? And as a matter of fact, there's another one in Revelations, the 2nd chapter, that proves this dude is the devil. This is Revelations 2:10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Now, ultimately, this is talking about during a time of when this dude declares martial law, starts putting Jake in the concentration camps and torturing and doing all the things that they're going to do to Jake, man. You know, during the time of the hour of temptation, when they, push the chip and force the chip and all this, all that time is coming. Jacob's trouble is coming, man. So this is going into that. But if you look at it as right now, with the prison complex, the prison system, who's throwing Jake in? Because when you look into the prison complex, the prisons today, you're going to see primarily Jakes locked up in the prisons, man. Who put them there? Esau, man, the so-called white man. So even on that scale, you can see it. But like I said, this is going into the concentration camps when he locks Jake up, man. But he calls him the devil, man. The devil shall cast some of you into prison for 10 days, which that 10 days just is a period of time, man. You know what I'm saying? However long that you're going to be, have to be in there, man. You know what I'm saying? So all of these things link together and prove who these things are talking about when you speak of the devil, Satan. You know what I'm saying? And as a matter of fact, when you jump over to Revelations, the 20th chapter, in verse 3, it reads, and cast him into the bottomless pit, which is Europe, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed a little season, which we're in that little season right now, man. He's been loosed, and we're in that little season. We're coming to the end. We're at the end of that little season now. But it says that he was going to be loosed, proving that it's talking about, it's not talking about the spiritual demon Satan. It's talking about his counterpart in the earth, man. He who's coming is after the workings of Satan, because that seal that got set upon him is during the time they were put in slavery during the dark ages up under Jake, man. You know what I'm saying? And he was in captivity, man. So he couldn't deceive the nations anymore, but he had to be loosed for a little season, and he got loosed for that little season and came back into power during the Renaissance, or what's known as the rebirth of the white rule, white supremacy, man. Which we're in to this very day, because when you read up to verse 2, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is called the devil and Satan. We just read that in Revelation, the 12th chapter, man. Same thing. It's talking about Esau, man, and bound him 1,000 years. He got put in slavery, man. He got that seal on him. He was in captivity. These things all line up and prove that this is talking about Esau, man, the so-called self-proclaimed white man, man. You know what I'm saying? Now I want to just real quick make another point real quick, just to kind of hammer that in and seal it. And I brought this out in camp Tuesday, just to solidify it. When you go into this word devils here in Leviticus, the 17th chapter, it's Leviticus 17:7, and they shall no more offer their sacrifices unto devils, after whom they have gone a whoring. This shall be a statute forever unto them throughout their generations. And the them is talking about the Israelites, man, because to this very day you got Israel sacrificing unto these devils, man, which we're going to prove that's talking about Esau, So let's go into this word devils real quick. And I'm going to let this devil say it. It's H8163.
Strong's H8163. Sa'ir.
Sa'ir, seer. He's saying it all fancy and trying to fancy it up, but it's seer. When you jump down, outline of biblical usage, hairy, he goat. That's key. Remember that he goat, buck as a sacrificial animal. You know what I'm saying? So these things are clear. The he goat and that sacrificial animal. So that's really quick because he says Sa'ir. So let's go to Genesis the 36th chapter real quick in verse 8 because they're all synonymous. Genesis 36 and 8. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir, Sa'ir. Esau is Edom. So all of these things are synonymous, proving those devils is talking about Esau, man. The so-called self-proclaimed white man, man. They're all synonymous. Again, when you go to Genesis the 25th chapter, that proves that Esau is the so-called white man who that's talking about. No pigment, red. The first one came out red all over like a hairy garment. You know what I'm saying? But it says hairy, he goat, sacrificial animal. When you read really quick in Daniel, the 8th chapter, I'm gonna read verse 5 and then I'm gonna jump down. Daniel 8 and 5. And as I was considering, behold, an he goat came from the west on the face of the whole earth and touched not the ground, and the goat had a notable horn between his eyes. And we know this he goat right here is dealing with Alexander the Great, man, or the Greek or the creep, which we like to call him. So this dealing with Alexander. He's that he goat, which we know is an Edomite, man. He's being referred to as a he goat. I'm gonna jump down to verse 8. Therefore the he goat, Alexander, waxed very great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken, and for it came up four notable ones towards the four winds of the heavens, and those four notable ones represent his four generals, man. Cassandra, Ptolemy, Seleucus, and Lysimachus, Salakia, are his four generals, man, which is what that's going into, and but it's calling him a he goat, man, Alexander. So I'm gonna jump down. I'm gonna keep reading. I'm gonna keep jumping down. I'll start at verse 20. Daniel's 8 and 20. The ram which thou sawest having two horns are the kings of the Medes and Persia, the Medo-Persian Empire, which Alexander conquered to gain power in the earth, man. When you read in Daniel's the 7th chapter, it goes into it, breaks down those four major empires that would rise and fall before the implementation of the kingdom of heaven, which we know were the Babylonians, the Medo-Persians, the Greeks, and the Romans. And then out of the Romans came that little horn, which represents America, man, which we're in that right now, man. Which we're at the end of that right now. So we're at the end of this devil's rulership, man. Verse 21, and the rough goat is the king of Grecia. There it is, Alexander. And the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king. So boom, it's talking about Alexander, man. It's referring to him as a rough goat, as a he goat, man, which is a sacrificial animal. You know what I'm saying? And when you read in Isaiah, the 34th chapter, I'll start at verse 5 and just kind of get to the point. Isaiah 34 and 5, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven, dealing with those thermonuclear missiles. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment, which Idumea is a Greek way of saying Edom, and this dude is cursed to judgment. These are the people that the Lord hates, man. You know what I'm saying? Esau Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated, man. And when you read down, he has indignation, which means righteous anger forever with these people, man, until he destroys them. Because when you read in Romans the 9th chapter, they're those vessels of dishonor fitted to wrath and destruction. That's why this sword is going to be bathed in heaven, because this dude is a sacrificial animal. It's going to be a sacrifice in Edom, man. Verse 6, the sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness and with the blood of lambs and goats. That he goat represents Esau, with the fat of the kidneys and rams, For the Lord hath a sacrifice, because it's an animal sacrifice. We read that. In Basra, which Basra is a chief city in Edom, which that represents America today. And a great slaughter sacrifice in the land of Idumea, Edom, the so-called self-proclaimed white man. So this dude is the devil. He's Satan, and he's that he-goat, that rough goat. He's that deceiver. He's that adversary, and he's that sacrificial animal that the Lord is going to destroy, man. You know what I'm saying? So these things are talking about Esau, man, the so-called self-proclaimed white man. When the Bible says devil and Satan, it's talking about Esau, man. So, and this dude is about to be destroyed. His kingdom is over. His rulership is through. He's about to go into chains, into slavery for 1,000 years. Then this dude going to be obliterated off the face of the earth. So, hey, that's it. That's it. That's all I got. So hopefully this was edifying to the hopeful elect. With that, giving all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Wahara Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. And peace and blessings to the elect, the house of David, the Bayath, Shal Dawadah, Shalom.